Walker on the top, running through the guap.
Welcome back, baby, to Bustelo Talk.
Good morning.
What's going on? Good morning. Comedian Marcus Mcneill.
I'm Bunnie, a.k.a. Erica Ocean.
Oh, man, and we back, and we love it. And I don't give a fuck about, my life is great. Yo, it's lit. Listen, we got another topic for y'all. We appreciate it. We got another topic for y'all. This topic involves the children. It involves kids.
The children, and
So
when or how do you introduce them or bring them around the person that you're dating or dealing with?
it's like a whole thing. So it's just like dumb kids. That's the name of it. Dumb kids. Dumb chillins.
Dumb kids.
All right. So I was talking to you. I was talking to Erica, and basically it was just like, okay. First of all, at what point do you introduce your kid to whomever you with?
So for me, I never did.
Okay. Why?
I never introduced my kid to whoever I was dealing with because I knew the people that I was dealing with were situationships.
Right.
And it wasn't I knew they wasn't gonna last forever, so
right.
I never introduced my daughter to them.
Right.
Have they seen her before accidentally? Yes, they have, but not a formal, hey, this is, my boyfriend John or anything like that. No.
Right.
I try to keep the kid away from the guy. Like, I try to keep that separate.
And see, that comes in for a lot of you chicks. A lot of you mother suckers. Y'all stay bringing y'all kids around all these niggas and random niggas that y'all not even going to be with. That shit affects the kids. My mother used to do that shit to me. I hated that shit. At the bottom line, if it's not the kid's father really, or you are going to be with this person, or you got no real feelings for this person, you got this distinguish fucking feelings from temporary feelings from me, because you fuck with a nigga for a month, and then it's a dub. And y'all moving kids for a nigga that y'all was already with, and then going back, y'all ain't, you know what I'm saying? It's just, y'all don't really think about the children like that. You know what I'm saying? That's what I feel like. A lot of y'all just move. You just move to be moving.
Right.
I'm telling you, I hated that shit as a kid. Like, yo, my mom used to be introduced me. Like, she used to be like, yo, say hi, Marcus. I'm like, say hi.
I don't want to say
hi. Like, and they be like, go to five. Give me five, man.
I don't want to say
Give me
hi.
five. Give me five.
So here, look, a funny story, right? My stepfather, I've known him all my life. But when I was younger, I didn't know who he was and how he knew me. Like, he was just like a guy on a block that I knew, like an older guy. He used to give me money all the time. So, I didn't care. He just gave me money all the time. Every time he see me, he gave me money. For me to find out later on in life that was my mother's boyfriend from when she was like 14, 15 years old. She stopped messing with him to be with my father. And it was even a situation that when she got pregnant with me, that some people thought that my stepfather was my father until I was born and came out looking like my father. So I didn't know that then. But it's funny to know, like, okay, this is the man that was giving me fucking money. Like, I didn't know who he was.
That's
funny.
But
I never seen him in my house. Like, I always seen him outside. And I used to see him like everywhere. As I was getting older, I would travel by myself and I would see him places too. And he would give me money, like, oh, hi Erica, how you doing? And he would always ask about my mother. But I never knew who this guy was. Like, I just never knew who he was.
Right. So that's a good way of doing shit too, kind of keeping it away,
right,
but keeping it around.
Right.
So you familiar. You know what I'm saying?
So that's cool. That's cool. But then when I was older, my mother got back with him, like they was in a relationship, I kind of felt like, but you didn't even ask me. Like, like you didn't even ask me if I'm okay with him or if I like him or
that
you know what I'm saying? You didn't even ask.
That's a
I mean, you could have asked. You could have asked. Who?
You kind of did okay or like it because he was giving you paper and
I didn't know who he was when he was giving me money though.
But you liked him.
I didn't like him. I was just okay with the money. He was giving me money. Like, why am I question that? Every time he seen me, he gave me money. But I didn't know that was my mother's boyfriend when he was giving me the money. So it's not like I okayed my mother being with him. No. Okay. I wasn't formally introduced to him until she came home and was like, oh, this is Arthur. And I'm like, oh, this is the man that I've been seeing all my life giving me money. Right. It's crazy.
So that's.
But I still feel like she could have asked me, like, how you feel about him, how you like him. Even if she was gonna still be with him, I feel like as my mother and me being her child, she could have asked my opinion. You know what I'm saying?
I get that. Now, my mother didn't give a fuck about life. Like at this point in my brain, that's what I said in my brain one time. Like, bitch, if you're gonna be a hoe, be a fucking hoe. Why you gotta introduce me to all these niggas? Because it was back to back. You know, she had me young though, and you know. I love my mom. She's an asshole, but I love my mom. But it's important, like, you know the intentions of a person, right? So I at one point, like, if you a chick and you got a kid, and I know, cause chicks be willing to like, oh, I'm like, nah, I don't want to meet your kid, cause I know I'm just fucking you. You know you're gonna eat up all their fruit snacks in their house. I'm gonna die. So I knew I was just. I was fine at one point. Oh my God! When I was young, I was fine. When I was young, I was fine. I would not give a fuck, and the babies be on the bed, and I'm fucking your chick with your kids on the bed. But that's young shit. That's young dumb shit.
Yeah, but I still feel like as the mother that she should kind of control.
Okay. Yeah, but a lot of y'all at a certain age, I get the young chicks.
Right, when you're young, you do stuff.
At a certain nigga, when you hit the 30s.
I feel like a little early. I feel like
maybe
25.
20. No.
Yeah, I feel like 25.
No, 25 you ain't. I mean, even though women mature.
For a female, I feel like 25 you should start making better decisions.
Yeah, I agree with that.
At 25.
Like if you got the kids. Yeah, I agree with that. Now, I'm also, my thing is like, okay, if you know you got somebody that's willing to be with you, and you know ahead of time, like, this nigga's into you, so he's willing to accept everything, even the kids, like, all right, cool, whatever, but I would understand you gotta gradually bring me in, given, and which I respect, like, right. You go gradually, bring me in a situation, and then boom, and then we go from there, and whatever. So, but the nigga willing to accept all that. Now,
I feel like it's a window, though. I feel like once your kid get past a certain age, if you're not already with the step parent or the person that's gonna presume to be the step parent, I think you should not introduce your kid. So the window could be like if your kid is under 3, you have that playroom to bring different people around, because the kid is not really they're not gonna really remember, they're not gonna get fixated. But once the kid start going to school and learning and looking at stuff, I think those are the questionable years. And if you bring different people around, they're gonna remember, they're gonna notice.
Depending on how many you bring around, but if you bring one person,
if it's just one, then it's fine. But if you bring too many, I understand you go through relationships, situationships, whatever you want to call it, but I just don't understand, every relationship you let the guy move in. Like, you have some women that every man that they get with, they move them in a house. Right. I just have a little problem with that. I know you're gonna go through different relationships, but bringing every man to your house that is, I just feel like.
Right. Enough is enough. Right. You gotta start thinking about the kids at some point.
At some point, you gotta consider their feelings and what they go through.
I know of adult heifers, adults, upper 30s that do shit like that, just still bringing niggas around for this is whatever, and it's like, come on, everybody.
I've had some situations with my daughter and guys that I've dealt with. Like, I had someone I was dealing with that lived in Florida. He came up to visit, and my neighbor Lisa, God rest her soul, LB, she had the keys, so I asked Lisa to let him in. Now, I already gave him the breakdown. I said, listen, if anybody come to my house, because my mother have keys to my house. I said, if anybody come to my house, tell them you here to feed the dogs, because I'm away, because I was away in Jamaica. His flight came in before mine, so, he was there a few hours before I got there. Lo and behold, my mother sent my daughter upstairs to get something, and my daughter seen him in the house. This foolio going to tell my daughter, I'm your mother's boyfriend.
Oh, no, you gotta go. It's over. It's over at that point. It's over. No, you're not. Because even if you were, we're done now.
Was hot. I was hot for two reasons. Because one, I already gave him the breakdown. You here to feed the dogs, my nigga. I don't give a fuck who come in the house. You here to feed the dogs. You are not to tell nobody that you are my boyfriend. One. Two, why do you feel like you should tell her that you my boyfriend and I'm not there? Like, what?
Yeah, that's gay. Overstep boundary shit.
I was hot. Boy, I was hot. But, you know, certain things like that happen that's out of your control. My mother have keys. She's going to always have keys. And I don't necessarily tell her, like, oh, Ma, I have company. You know, I just take that chance. Like, okay, my mother's home. She ain't going to come down here. But my mother do have a history of just popping up. So, shit like that happened. And I ain't like it, but, you know, out of my control.
So yeah, I know for me, even like my ex-girl, 3 years, I didn't bring her, I didn't introduce her to my kid. Toward the end, she met them. But at that point in time, it was exposed that I had a girl by they mom. It's a whole petty dumb shit. It's like, why would you? The reason I didn't do that is because I knew I wasn't going to be with this chick. Again, she's going to...
Oh, God. Oh, God. I can't wait for the morning phone call. I can't wait for the morning phone call.
She's going to sign some... She's blocked, but she's going to find some way to get through. But I knew I wasn't going to be with this chick. Like, you was what you was. I knew it. And that's why I didn't, you know... And so I didn't want to bring that element around my, you know. But if I know that, no, I care about X. All right, here's whatever, because we can fast forward.
Right, you gotta introduce.
Plus, they had an age.
Right.
They had an age, right? Like, I think from like 7, 8 and up, it's like, all right, you know better. So, you know, like Omar did say something on our last show. He was like, yo, from 0 to 7. Is when they basically learn everything they need to know.
Right.
At around 7, 8 years old, they mini teenagers. They're mini teenagers. Them motherfuckers.
Well,
mini teenagers.
It depends, because they can be, as a 7-year-old can be very smart and understand a lot.
Right. Yes.
And then you have some 7-year-olds that are just kids, like they don't know what the fuck is going on around them.
Right, but for the most part, they fully aware. Them ones that's like real naive, I feel like that they're boxed in. I feel like that's how they grow up, boxed in.
Because my godson is 5 and my best friend's son is 5 too. But my best friend's son, me and him can have a conversation like me and you is having a conversation. Whereas my godson, he talking about toys, he talking about PJ Masks. We can't have that same conversation.
Right. Okay.
He's like a kid. Like,
which is
I want ice cream and I want toys, and me and my best friend's son, we can have a full out conversation. Like I could talk to him about my boyfriend. I can. I swear to God, I can. I swear to God, I can.
Okay. So now you go to the next thing, right? You're in the house with the kid. Your man, you the wife. Mm-hmm. Whatever, you the girl. Mm-hmm. You got your kids. Mm-hmm. Dude's in the house. Mm-hmm. This happens a lot, y'all. So, is the stepdad and or boyfriend allowed to discipline your child?
As the boyfriend, I say no.
So,
as the boyfriend,
living
I
together
say no.
And everything.
I say no as the boyfriend. First of all, before we even get to the disciplining of the children, if my boyfriend is living with me, I need to know if he have children too and what kind of relationship he have with his children first. Because you can't just be in my house with me and my kids and you have kids out there that you don't have a relationship with. And I don't want to hear that, oh, my baby mother's crazy bullshit. I don't want to hear that.
I respect that.
So before we even get to the discipline, we going to get to that. And if you don't have a relationship with your kids, you definitely ain't disciplining my kids. But speaking of discipline, my daughter was older when I was with the dude I was with. And the circumstances was, I said when my daughter finished high school, I would start and have a real relationship, because at that time, she'll be off going to college or doing whatever that she's doing. So whoever I'm with is not necessarily hands-on with her. My daughter kept messing up in school, and I kept saying, I'm not going to keep putting my life on hold. Anyway, make a long story short, I got with this dude, and I told this dude, like, listen, anything dealing with my daughter, come to me. She has a father. I'm her mother. You don't have to deal with her. He didn't listen to me. He tried to take matters in his own hand, and it just was ugly. It was really ugly. And my daughter was older, so, you know, that went all the way left.
There's not much you could do.
It went all the way left, and I warned him prior to. So I learned my lesson, and I know, like, yeah, that's a real sensitive thing, bringing people around your children.
I say it because there's a lot of you women who the first thing you do is say, don't talk to my kid like that. Don't such and such with mine. But yet this nigga does X, Y, and Z for the kids, and or for y'all, or it's in the house and something to the nature. And he be like, don't talk to my kid. I don't agree with really hitting, because I don't even hit my kids. I don't at this point I don't touch my kids. I don't remember the last time I actually hit my kids. This shit was a while ago, because
Right.
Whatever. So as far as that's concerned, but so that's different. I guess that's something y'all got to talk about with the actually hitting. I guess at a certain age.
I feel like that whole you having him in the household should have been a conversation before he even came in the household. But we don't do that. We feel like we're the parent, we're grown, we do what we want to do, and the kids just have to accept it. And that probably was the norm for the last 2 or 3 decades. But now, I feel like you should consider the kids before moving somebody in. You should. Especially if they're younger kids and that person have to deal with your younger kids while living there. I feel like the kids should be considered. Should be a conversation.
Yeah, and I feel like as well that,
Also with the other parent as well. Like, I feel like it should be a conversation. Like, look, I'm with so-and-so, he's moving in, he's going to be around the kids. I feel like that should be a conversation. A lot of people feel like, oh, that ain't none of his business. This is my house. He don't do nothing for the kid. But we got to change that mindset. We gotta understand that.
I understand that too, though.
Right.
I do understand the fact if the nigga's really not doing anything at all, or it's not there, then fuck what you talk about, because you don't have any.
But sometimes
authority here. You're not even in his life.
Sometimes when men are not doing anything for their kids, somewhere down the line, some communication, lack of, something happened that I feel like if you just took some time to get it fixed, it could get fixed. A lot of men I know would love to be in their kids' lives, but they just don't have, I don't know if it's the pride or what, to do what they need to do to kind of like settle it. Some of them have pride, like, I don't give a fuck that bitch. And it's like, fuck the kid. But it shouldn't be like that. Because most of the time it's something that can be resolved. It can be resolved. It's just people don't have conversations about it. I'm just happy and I'm blessed that I did not have those issues with my daughter father.
I know some dudes though. I know there's some dudes that like, yo, I fucks with what he's saying, because it's like, yo, shorty be acting crazy when I try to even tell a little kid something or be over here. Then like, you really can't do that. I feel like.
But I feel like if you're not telling your own kid something or don't have the relationship to discipline your own kid, don't discipline mine. That's just how I feel.
Well, let's talk about he don't got no kids. Maybe
okay, well, if he don't got no kids, that's different.
Yeah, right now.
But if you have kids and you don't have no relationship with your kids and you can't discipline your kid and you in my house, don't say shit to my kids either.
Well, everybody said right.
Period.
So I'm, let's say the dude, he in there, he accepting your kids. Maybe he do got kids and he's in the kids and.
Well, ultimately, if he live in a household.
All right, so I know personally like this. I won't hit somebody else's.
Well, we're not talking about hit. Discipline is not only in a form of hitting.
But I will say, hey, yeah, no.
Right,
yeah,
but discipline is not just hitting.
Right.
Discipline comes in all different forms.
Yelling.
You don't even have to yell. Discipline can just give an order, like clean your room or clean up after yourself.
Right.
That's a part of discipline. So I feel like if he lived in the household, he should be able to at least do that when they're not doing their chores.
Bottom line is the person
that
the person that you got in your household you should be. The fact that they're in your household, you should already fully trust it.
Right.
So you shouldn't be stepping in on anything because you fully trust that person.
But it goes back to parenting, because if you're not on the same page, right? But if you're not on the same page, like you're in your daughter's life, but still, if you and their mother is not on the same page, it's gonna be friction.
I tell you like this, like my son, like he not together. They not together. I don't think no more with the other dude. But he's been there for a majority of
your son's life.
My son. Right.
Mm-hmm.
I like him.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. So if he got something to say to my son about something, go ahead. But he wouldn't hit him. She wouldn't even let the nigga hit him and some shit like that. But if it's some discipline or something like that, it is.
But if you live in a household, there's no way that you live in a household with somebody's kids and can't say nothing to them.
Right.
That's just like insane. That's insane.
Yeah, whoever it is gotta be willing.
That's really insane. Like, I let you come live with me, but you can't say nothing to my kid.
Right.
So, like, with the guy I was with, you know, he can, like, Anasia, you did this, or Anasia do that. I wasn't saying he can't do that, but, like, if she do something that he feel is disrespectful, then I told him to come to me and let me deal with her if she became disrespectful.
But why though? Like, why he can't deal with it?
Because that's where the line crosses. Because
so now
it's not his
I'm
kid.
coming to the parent.
Right.
I'm coming to
because
you,
when somebody disrespect me as an adult,
yeah.
When other people kids disrespect me, I feel in a way. But because I'm older and I have kids, I don't deal with them in that way that I feel.
A nigga don't feel like be like, yo, she
so
do something
I look at it like that. So anybody that get disrespected, naturally they feel in a way because they're disrespected.
Right. So what you saying is,
so because I know that's not his kid and I'm not around, it's a possibility that he may get a little crazy because he got disrespected.
So what you saying is, she disrespected me. Now I gotta get you on the phone.
You made her said something to her like, "Oh, Anasia, your mother said clean your room," and she might have said, "Fuck out of here, you're not my father."
So I don't say nothing. I gotta call you like you mommy.
But what do you say? What do you say? If she say that to you, what is your response?
I get that I'm not your father, but you gonna watch your mouth when you're talking to me.
You can say that. But now what she say? Fuck out of here, I'm calling my father. Now what?
All right. Well, you can do what you want to do. Once again, you're gonna watch your mouth when you're talking to me.
Fuck you.
Suck my dick.
Exactly. Exactly.
Exactly. I'm gonna go that far.
No, but I'm saying some people would because they feel disrespected. Like, you know what I'm saying? And my daughter's mouth is ridiculous.
At that point, I'd be like,
so this is why I even warned him. Like, if she do something disrespectful, let me deal with her. You know what I'm saying? That's the reason why.
All right, but when it gets to that extent, after the first couple of times,
but when kids are older,
I'm gonna come.
When kids are older, it's different than when they're little. Like, dealing with a 10-year-old disrespect and dealing with a 17-year-old disrespect is two different levels of disrespect.
At this point, you pretty old. So here's the thing.
Exactly.
Fuck you. Cool. No problem. I'm unplugging this TV. I'm taking this, that third. Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
Fuck me. You absolutely right.
Yeah.
Fuck me.
But now she goes and break the TV.
Now you gotta get out. I'm calling the cops. You're going to prison. I'm not doing this. You're going to jail.
You're not calling the cops on my kid.
I'm calling the cops on your fucking psychotic child.
You're not calling the cops on my kid.
She's vandalizing. You're not calling the cops on
my kid.
Shit.
This is why I tell you, if she do something disrespectful, let me deal with it.
Man,
that's why.
Nah, you ain't vandalizing my shit. I'm calling the police now. How about that? Anasia. Fuck out of here.
But it can get crazy when you have older children. It's a lot more easier to deal with younger children.
Yeah, but when they get older, they should be much more respectful. I understand.
They should, but the generation of society that we are now is
it's fucked up.
Yeah, it's not like that. They don't have much respect for elders in this new generation. They don't. It's a different generation. Something in the milk or something. I don't know. Or maybe it's the fat juice. I don't know. This the weed. I don't know. This is a new generation of kids, and you gotta have Very tough skin dealing with these kids. Very tough. Because they will disrespect you, your mama, your grandmother, everybody. They don't care.
Well,
they have nothing to live for.
At all.
At all.
Well, anything else?
Nah, I'm
That's
I'm
it.
good.
Listen, please comment. Let me know what y'all think. You know, go back and forth with me. Go back and forth with her. I know some of y'all been in these situations, so please, you know what I mean? Let me know. I'm curious to understand, to hear what y'all got going on and what situations y'all had. So, thank y'all for tuning in. Appreciate y'all. Subscribe, like, share. Thank y'all. Good morning.
Please think about before you move somebody in your house. Just think about it. After watching the show, maybe it touched, maybe it didn't. Hopefully it did, but think about it. And I want to say rest in peace to my daughter Taya. Good morning.
Good morning.